All right. Good afternoon, everyone, on this beautiful fall day. Finally, we're in the 60s. So I hope that encourages you to go outside and get your aerobic exercise minutes, the ones that you're supposed to be logging, because we're doing resistance today. This is week 4, and we do have a really short presentation, PowerPoint. So let me share that with you really quick, and then we will get started. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so this week is week 4 already, which is crazy. So we're about halfway through Happy Feet. And we're going to be starting resistance training for strength. So the last 2 weeks you were doing strength training for aerobic capacity. So lighter weights, more repetitions, and faster movements, where we're concentrating on getting more repetitions, and we're increasing your heart rate, your breathing rate. Where this week and next week we'll be introducing a little bit more heavier weight, and strength training, resistance training for strength really focuses on trying to put on muscle mass and building that strength component. So it's a little bit different in terms of how much weight we're going to be using and how many repetitions we're going to be doing. So again, here's the itinerary. So this week will be part 1, next week will be part 2. So today we're going to be focusing on introducing the exercises and getting you really, uh, uh, introduced to a little bit of a heavier weight. So I'm going to challenge you today to try to pick maybe one heavier band if you are comfortable doing that, so that next week when we actually go through the more intensive part of the exercise, you'll be a little bit more, uh, used to that. So really, what is resistance training for strength? Um, Generally, the recommendations are 8 to 10 repetitions, about 2, 3 times a week, and that'll last about 30 to 45 minutes per exercise session. And you really want to focus on integrating different muscle groups. So a lot of people like to do, just upper body day, lower body day, or core or back. Usually for cancer patients and survivors, I always suggest that we always do different muscle groups, either upper body and lower body. One, it reduces the risk of injury because you're not trying to overuse one area of the body. And it leads to better energy expenditure reserves. What that essentially means is that you're able to kind of give equal energy to different exercises versus if you do all exercises in one muscle group, you're going to fatigue much faster and you might not be able to do, all the exercises that you planned on doing. And really, what's the point of doing resistance training for strength? So there's a lot of studies showing, and there was obviously a really recent study in colon cancer that specifically resistance training for strength has been linked to lower recurrence of certain types of cancer, and it is really effective at targeting physical function outcomes. So we're talking about return to activities of daily living. We're talking about, being able to go back to work. And we're talking about, just physical function in general. So resistance training for strength is the most effective compared to other types of resistance training. And you can do that in several different ways. You can use dumbbells, you can use body weight, you can do it seated, you can do it standing, you can do it lying down, you can do it with resistance bands, which is what we're going to be doing. So there are a ton of different ways to achieve resistance training for strength. It's really about what's the most comfortable for you. Oops. I think Adeline has gone through this concept a couple of times. I think it's one of the more confusing concepts. It's called self-progression. It's essentially, how do you change your exercise program from session to session to session to make sure that you are getting the most benefits and that you're actually making progress. It's very easy for anybody, myself, or anyone who's doing exercise to kind of just do the same thing over and over again because it's comfortable. Strength training specifically is not comfortable. It can hurt, you can be sore, you can get tired very easily. But if you keep doing the same program over and over again, you're not going to be seeing the benefits that you could be seeing, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of, setting aside time in your day to actually do the strength training. So uh, the point of self-progression is that you want to slowly increase some part of your exercise program. It could be increasing the weight. It could be increasing the number of repetitions. It could be increasing the number of sets that you do or the actual number of exercises that you do. So really you get to choose how you change your exercise program. And one of the things that I like to stress with self-progression is that um, progression doesn't always mean that you have to increase something. If you are, for example, on active treatment right now and you are dealing with side effects, just exercising itself means that it could look a little bit different. You might be experiencing a large symptom burden, so you might have to lower the weight or lower the time that you commit to exercise or lower the number of exercises. That's still self-progression because you are paying attention to what you're able to do. And then once that experience of high symptom burden or whatever is experiencing, then you can then remodify your exercise program to increase the number of sets or reps or the number of exercises itself. So, really pay attention to what you need, and make sure that if you feel like you're doing the exercises and you're really not seeing any difference or you can do it pretty comfortably, it might be time to have that conversation with yourself and be like, okay, I think I need to just push it a little bit harder in one of these different aspects. Right. Okay. So it's time to exercise. Why don't you go ahead and grab your bands? If you feel like you want to stick with the same band that you've been using for the past two sessions for the strength training for aerobic, that's perfectly fine. If you want to increase or change the band, maybe just one level, and you feel like, okay, maybe it's time that I can do that, and you do want to self-progress, absolutely do that too. I'm going to be using a heavy band today only because that was what I had in my office. So I kind of self-sabotage myself. We're going to use a heavy band today. So let me stop sharing so that I can be full screen. Um, if you are comfortable, and I highly, highly encourage this, is that to have your camera on. If you are self-conscious, I will say that no one will be looking at you except me to make sure that your technique is proper and that you are not doing anything to accidentally injure yourself in the long run. And so if you are comfortable and you are able to, please turn on your cameras. And I encourage this every week. And it gives me a chance to call out anybody who might be doing something a little bit, uh, you know, wonky to be able to change it. Okay. So I'm going to take my chair. Bear with me. We're renovating, so there's a bunch of stuff everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna warm up first. We're gonna do some calf raises. So if you remember, if you need a chair or a table next to you for some balance, I'm gonna move my camera down. Okay, calf raises. We're gonna go straight up on our toes as if we're pressing a gas pedal and hold it for 2 seconds and come back down. And then all the way up and come back down. So we're gonna do 10 of those. If you need to do it seated, all you need to do is just grab the chair. And all you have to do is just press up on your toes and hold for 2 seconds and come back down. So if you're doing it seated, you can do 10 of those as well. Just pressing straight up on your toes. If you feel like you can't press too high, that's okay. As you kind of gain that strength and flexibility in your ankles and your calves, you're going to find yourself lifting yourself higher and higher as time goes on. So we're going to do 10 of those. Again, if you need to kind of put your fingertips on a chair or a tabletop next to you to maintain your balance, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're not holding on for dear life. We want to make sure we're actually using those calf muscles. And we want to make sure we want to breathe as well. So we exhale as we push up. A nice little inhale when we relax, and exhale when we push up, and inhale when we relax. If you've done 10, that's great. If you want to keep going and do another 10, I'm not going to stop you. And when you're done and ready to move on, you can go ahead and relax, maybe shake out your legs and ankles a little bit, just kind of get some blood flow, and then we'll move on to the next one. Looking good. See lots of elevation. I'm going to constantly remind you to breathe because we like to hold our breaths during resistance training. We don't want to do that because that will increase our blood pressure, which defeats the whole purpose. All right. Okay. So the next one we're going to do are standing marches. Again, you can use a tabletop or chair kind of as an aid. You can put it in front of you if you are using a chair. It's just for balance. So we're going to bring one knee up as high as we can, just marching in place. No need to run, but as high as up as you can. If you want to put your hands out kind of as a marker, you can do that too. If you are doing this seated, just grab your chair. Try to sit on the edge of the chair, and you want to bring your knee up and feet up off of the ground as high as you can. Nice and tall. Working our hip flexors, getting our heart rate up a little bit, getting that blood flowing. Nice. If you feel like the chair's, a little bit too in the way in front of you, you can always move it to the side too if you need it. Looking good. Seeing a lot of knees. I like that. So I didn't say I think we'll do 10 each side. If you want to do more, you can. We'll do 10 each side. Once you're done, go ahead and shake out your legs, maybe catch your breath. This one is a little bit more taxing for your heart rate, and that's okay. Looking good. I like it. All right. When you're done, go ahead and just shake out your legs and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so this one you can do seated or standing if you're already standing. We're going to do neck circles just to kind of get some range of motion, especially if we've been sitting all day or staring at a computer like I have. So nice and tall, and we want to slowly pull our head back and down to the right and come back up and repeat again. Okay. We'll do 5 in one direction, clockwise, and then 5 counterclockwise. Don't have to go fast. You will make yourself dizzy if you try to swing that neck around. So nice and easy. Just trying to get some range of motion, combat some stiffness. If you can't do this with neck circles, instead what we want you to do are just to wrist circles. You can also do this too. Nice, easy circles just to get some blood and range of motion, especially sit at a computer all day like I do. 10 on each hand. If those are who are doing neck circles, also want to do wrist circles, I encourage that as well. If you can do them at the same time, even better. I'll be super impressed. And then we pat our head and rub our tummies at the same time. So if you're doing neck circles, remember speed is really not the objective here. We just want to get range of motion. If you're feeling some pain, especially when you're doing neck circles, it's usually because our body, our brain is much smarter than we give it credit for, is that it's telling us to stop. But that's because we've always been used to stopping at that particular point where we cause pain. So if we go really slow and we slowly progress how much we can rotate, or stretch to one side, eventually our brain will get the message that, hey, there's not this danger sign, and that eventually that pain will go away, and then we'll increase our range of motion. Okay. All right. All right, so our last warm up are going to be arm circles. You can do this seated or standing, really, it doesn't matter. So arm circles, arms out to the side in a T shape, and we're going to go circles to the front, 10 of them. Try not to, really go out the way if you really want to just kind of controlled circles. If you can't extend your elbows, you can absolutely bend them as far as you need and make those circles. Again, speed is not the objective. You just want to get that range of motion. So we'll do 10 circles to the front. And when you're done, 10 circles to the back. And again, make sure you're breathing in and out. Nice and easy. If you find your shoulders are getting a little bit tired, you can shake them out. That's fine. And then just go back to it again. No harm in taking a little break. I know I have notoriously bad shoulders from sports, so sometimes I have to shake it out. Nice and easy. Very good. When you're done, just go ahead and get some blood back in those arms. All right. As I see more and more people are getting done. Okay. All right, so if you don't already have your bands, go ahead and grab it. Grab a chair as well if you don't have one without arms, preferably if they do, that's okay. But one definitely without wheels. I do have to specify, do not sit on a chair with wheels. So go ahead and grab your band. And if you need to get a sip of water, please do so. And like I said, take as many breaks as you feel like you need to, either for water or to get some circulation back or just to give your muscles a little bit of rest. No harm, no foul. Just jump back in whenever you're ready. Okay? So the first one we're going to be doing today, for those who can do it standing, please do. If you can't, I'll show you the modification for seated. We're going to take our band. I'm going to sit sideways so you can see me. Okay, so before I can get out. We're going to be doing squats with the bands around our knees. So the band will go above our knees, not below, above our knees. So if you want to go ahead and start looping your band, oops, one leg at a time, and pull that up all the way above your knees. Okay, nice and easy, no rush. So the key here is that the band is providing resistance by trying to pull your knees in towards each other, but you are trying to pull your knees out to make sure they stay straight. So if Adeline taught you the correct squat position is that you want to make sure your knees stay facing forward throughout the whole entire squat motion. So I'm going to remove my chair now that I put my band on. And so just adjust it. So I like hands on my hips so I don't pull my front body down. And I'm going to use my leg and butt strength to keep the band from turning my knees in. And we're just going to gently squat down and then come back up. So from the front, it looks like this. So you can see I'm using my strength to keep the band from collapsing my knees. We don't want this. We want this, right? Hands on the knees. You do not have to go all the way down into a deep squat. As far as you can go is perfectly acceptable. If you feel like you can maybe spread your feet apart a little bit to about shoulder or hip width apart, try doing that. And remember, when we squat, we want to push our butt back, just like that. Okay? So for those who are doing it, I want you to try 12 of those, pushing our butt back. For those who are doing it seated, this will be the modification. So you're gonna sit down on the edge of the chair, not all the way back. Bring the band down to your ankles, and I just want you to kick one leg out as if you're kicking a soccer ball. So I'm going to throw you the soccer ball, just kick your leg out and squeeze your thigh muscles and hold for 2 seconds and then relax. You're going to do 10 on one side and then 10 on the other. Just switch and kick that leg out. Looking good. Just like that. If this is still too hard with the band and you're doing single leg extensions, you can take the band off. There's no harm, no foul. So you just take the band off and just kick your leg out and squeeze your thigh muscle. Just like that. Very good. So 10 and 10 on each side, or if you're doing the squats with the bands around, you're doing 12 of them. All right, looks good. How do we like that? Was that hard? Yes, no? A little bit, okay. All right, so we'll come back and do a second set of those if we have some time. Next, we're going to transition up to the upper body. So like we talked about before, we don't want to overload the lower body, so let's give our legs a little bit of a break. We're going to do seated rows now. So not sure if Adeline's shown you these yet. You're going to take your same band. You're going to loop it around one foot that's fully extended, and other foot is going to be planted on the ground. Just like that. So you can see, looped around the band, foot planted. This one's fully extended. Use both hands and grab the band, sit up straight, and we're going to pull back, our elbows back. Squeeze those armpits as if you have lemons under your armpits and you want to keep them there. So we're going to exhale when we pull back and inhale when we relax. Same thing, exhale when we pull back, inhale when we relax. If you want to do the modified version, you can pull the band up to your upper thigh or lower thigh, upper knee, extend your leg, and just pull back gently. So this just gives a little bit less resistance, but the motion is the same. Okay, so we're going to do 12 of those, whichever version that you're doing. Make sure you're pulling your elbows straight across your body and squeezing those shoulder blades back. Make sure you're breathing. Exhale when you pull your elbows back, and inhale when you relax. Good. We feeling it? This should feel nice, especially if you've been sitting down all day, hunched over, like I have. Good. Very nice. If you find this very easy and you feel like you're just pulling the band, that might be a sign to step up to the next band. Very good. All right, when you're done, go ahead and relax, shake out your arms. All right. Grab some water if you'd like, catch a breath. As you're doing that, I'm going to set up for the next one. We're going to be doing standing hip abduction with the band. Okay, so I'm going to show you. It'd be beneficial if you had a chair next to you just for balance if you feel like you need it. Before you stand up, which I should have done, is that you want to put the band on both ankles. Make sure it's nice and comfortable, and then you want to stand up. I'm going to have the chair next to me just for a little bit of balance. So we're going to be working our side glute here. And how we're going to do that, we're going to do 10 on each side. You're going to hold one hand on the chair, and you're going to slowly pull one leg away as far as you can until you feel like you can't pull anymore, and then just relax. And you should feel it in this hip area right here. Just like that. Don't feel like you have to go all the way out. As far as you can push out and you feel that resistance, come on back. So I want you to do 10 on each side. Make sure you're breathing. So when you push out, you want to exhale. So exhale and then relax, take a breath, and then exhale. These are admittedly harder, so take your time. If you need to take a break, kind of shake it out, please do so. If you can't do these standing, I'm going to show you seated. All right. So for those who are doing it seated, it's called a seated clamshell. You want to bring the band up to your knees up here. And I'll show you the front. Actually, it's easier. Band above your upper thighs. You want your feet together. And what you want to do is just pull your thighs apart, just like that. Like a little clamshell. You want to exhale as you pull apart and inhale as you relax. You want to do 10 of those for those who are doing seated. For those who are doing it standing and you feel like, wow, this is way harder than I imagined, you can absolutely do these seated. And then next week, you can try them standing. So consider this an introductory exercise for those who find it a little bit too difficult to do it standing. All right, let's go ahead and finish those up. We'll move on to the next one. Those who are waiting for the next one, grab some water, shake out your muscles. You're sweating, wipe that sweat off. All right. Okay. So if you have that band around your ankles, keep it there. And then I want you to actually pull it all the way up to your upper thighs. So right above your knee, lower thighs, excuse me. All right, so this one is going to be lateral raise. So this is going to be for our upper body. And this specifically for our tricep right here and our lats right here. So with the band around your lower thighs, you might have to adjust as you kind of find comfortable, is that you want to put one arm or one hand inside the actual band. I know it looks kind of silly, and that's okay. And I'll show you the adjustment if this is too hard. So stand up straight, and what you want to do is try to pull your arm out as far as you can from your body. So it's kind of like the previous exercise where you pulled your leg out, but instead you're pulling your arm out. If you find that having two legs within the band is too hard and too much resistance, just take one leg out of the band and then put your arm back in the band. So I'll demonstrate. So both legs, one hand, and I just want to stand up straight and pull my arm out away from my body as far as I can. This was a heavy band, so I can't really go far, and that's okay. But I still feel it here and a little bit here in my lats. So for those who need a modification, just take one leg out of the band. And for those who need to do it seated, you do the same thing. So just sit down with the band around your legs, take one leg out. Doesn't matter which leg. Put your arm in the band and just like that. I'll do it in the front so you can kind of see. I have one leg in, one leg out, one arm in, and I'm just pulling the band just like that. Remember to breathe. This is looking good. I know it's a little bit wonky, a little bit different than the other exercises that you've been doing. That's okay. Looking good. Remember to breathe when we pull our arm away from our body, we exhale. And when we relax, we inhale. So 10 on each side. If you're doing just one band, try to switch to the other leg and then do 10 on that side. No rush, take your time. If you have questions on how to kind of position the band, or if you're not really understanding, please unmute and ask if you feel like you need it. If not, go ahead and finish up those 10 on each side. All right. Okay, let's see. All right, so we have two more exercises, one more lower body, one more upper body. And then what we can do is that we'll run through these exercises again. So you just kind of get an idea of making sure that you're doing them right. And then we'll be done for the day. Are we feeling okay? Yes, no? Confused? Okay, I'm seeing mostly thumbs up, so I'm gonna go with everyone's okay. Okay. So the next one is called a split squat. Admittedly, this is one of the more intricate exercises. I just did these actually at the gym the other day, and I'm quite sore because it utilizes a lot of different muscle groups. It's a really great exercise both for strength and for balance. So we will be doing this again in the coming weeks when we do balance exercises. So take note of the split squat. I'm going to give you a lot of different cues and I'll give you modifications because it's very easy to get this one wrong. But if you do get it right, it's a really, really great exercise. So I like to have a chair nearby just for balance. Even for me who does them pretty regularly, I do like to have something just in case to make sure that my body stays centered. Okay? Let me see if I can. So here's my chair. So you're going to pick a leg. It doesn't matter if it's your right leg or your left leg first. I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to take a step in the front and keep my left leg in the back. And then you can see my right arm or hand is on a chair. So what I'm going to be doing, I just wanted you to watch first. So my hand is on my hip and I'm just going to squat down with one leg and then come back up. Just like that. So most of the work is being done in the front leg, and then in my case, that's the right leg. I'm like a piston. I'm going straight up and down. I don't want you to lean forward. I don't want you to lean back. I want your head as if you're pressing the ceiling away up with the top of your head. You're just going to go straight up and down. And you're going to do that 5 times. And when you're done with 5 times, you're going to switch. So I'm going to show you from the side. So I'll switch legs, left leg in front, right leg and back. And you can see I'm just going straight up and down. There is no need for you to go all the way down to the floor. There's really no advantage, and it's actually very hard to get back up, and it's hard on the knees. So if you can only go 2 inches down, just go 2 inches down. If you can go 6 inches down, go 6 inches down. Just little by little. This exercise takes strength flexibility and coordination. So it's going to be difficult in the beginning, and that's okay. So just go very slow and just go as far down as you're able to. For those of you who can't do this exercise or doing an alternative is just kickbacks. So you just put both hands on a chair, and you just kick your leg back and squeeze that back muscle. If you're doing the seated, sit on the edge of the chair to one side, and you want to kick your leg back. Just kick it back. You want to squeeze that back muscle, which is your hamstring. When you're done with that side, you move to the other side of the chair, and you squeeze that muscle in the back. Very good. That's hard, right? I'm winded a little bit. I'm sweating. I don't know about you all. Split squats are very difficult. So when we do them again on our second time around, you're going to have a little bit more coordination because now you understand that, you have to go up and down and you don't have to go all the way down to the floor. All right, so when you're ready, go ahead and shake those legs out. No rush for anyone to finish. Whenever you're done, you're done. And for those who are ready to move on, I just want you to grab your band. We're going to be doing tricep extensions. You can do this either seated or standing. Doesn't matter. All right, so for tricep extension, so here's our tricep over here. You're going to start, if you're going to work out your right arm first, you want the band on your left hand, right over the center of your chest, and then the right hand going in towards the bottom with our palms facing down or kind of on the side. And we're only going to be moving the arm that we're going to be working out. So in this term, it's the right one. So keep the left here. We want to push down. Push down and away to the side. And then we exhale as we push down, push. Go. The modification is just you do this seated if you need to do this exercise. Push and to the side. Try not to go just down. If we go to the side, we use the tricep a little bit more. So keep that top hand still and that bottom one moving up and down. So we want to do 10 on one side and then you switch and then do 10 on the other, just like that. If you feel like you can't push your band all the way down until your arm is straight, that's okay. Just go until you can stop, then come back up. And as time goes on, you get a little bit stronger and the band gets a little bit more flexible. You'll be able to extend your arm all the way down. But for the time being, as far as you can go, you just go all the way down. If you feel like, wow, I'm pulling this band and it just keeps going and going, that might be a sign for you to use a stronger band, and it's okay. That means that you're very strong and that it's time for more weight. So remember, exhale as you push down. Exhale as you push down. Just moving that bottom arm. So remember, 10 on each side. Anyone have any questions or concerns? Okay. Oh, have one question. So if you have one side that may be a little bit weaker or has some restrictions that you can't do the exercise, for the one side that can do the exercise without any restrictions, do it as normal. And then the side that has a restriction or injury, just do the modification. And then hopefully with time, the objective is that it will, get strong enough that you will able to kind of get to the regular exercise. This is for the banded leg lift to side earlier. The hand that's pushing down, do you still keep your wrist bent or try to straighten your wrist out? So I like to keep my wrist straight. I don't like to bend my wrist. Just like that. It's kind of like karate chopping down, if that makes sense. I have joint issues in my left wrist. Can I use fingers? Yes, yes. If you have some arthritis in your wrist, you can absolutely just pull the band down. And a lot of the pressure comes down at the end point. So if you can only push down a certain length, do that before, because if you go all the way down, that really does put a lot of pressure on the wrist. So go as far as you can possibly go and then just relax. And yes, yes, like I said, you can absolutely use your fingers. No need to put the pressure on the wrist if you don't need to. Good. Any other questions? All right. Okay, so we're going to do one more set of all of the different exercises. Um, if you'd like to grab some water, please do, because I'm going to. All right. I'm very impressed. Okay, so the first exercise is going to be the squat with the band around our knees. So why don't you take a second, grab the band. Now that you've done it once, do you think you can use a different band than you initially did, or do you want to stick with the current band? So I'll let you make that decision for yourself. But now that you've done it and you've realized it's not really as scary as you thought, grab the band that you think is going to challenge yourself a little bit and go ahead and put that around your knees. So remember, right above your knees, lower thighs. Again, no rush to get started. When you're ready, you're ready. Okay. So I see most people are ready. Move my chair out of the way. So remember, you don't want the band to collapse your knees. You don't want your knees to go like this, knock-kneed. You want to make sure you're using your glutes and your hips to keep your legs apart and straight. Make sure your feet are about hip width apart. If you have a more narrow stance, it's going to put a lot more pressure on your knees. So spread those feet apart to about hip width. Hands on your hips if you're comfortable. Remember, the point is to push your butt back, keep your upper body nice and straight, and push back up. A lot of times people like to have a chair behind them to use kind of as a marker. So touch and then lift. So let's do 12 of those. Remember to exhale as you stand up and up. For those who are doing the modifications, remember it's band around your ankles. And as if your soccer ball is being tossed to you, you want to kick your leg out and hold for 2 seconds. You're going to do 10 on each side if you're doing the seated version. There you go. We're breathing. Remember to breathe. We're going straight up and down. We want to make sure that we can look ahead and that our head is pushing the ceiling away. So if you feel like you're leaning forward, you might need to adjust a little bit. Looking good. Looking good, looking strong. There we go. Very nice, very nice. If you're done with your 12 or your 10 on each side, take a break, shake it out. We keep the band towards the floor because I'm going to do seated rows next. So those go around your foot. Okay, everyone, I want to take a nice deep breath in, and then I want you to exhale. Okay? Do that. We're going to adjust. So seated rows, you can take the band and just put it around one foot. Whoops. And we want to put it at the forefront of the foot, right here. Okay? Make sure it doesn't snap back at us in the face. And I say that from experience, so trust me. Extend the one leg that's out with the band around, grab with both hands, sit up straight, and as you exhale, you want to pull your elbows back and squeeze those shoulder blades. And as you pull, you want to exhale. So exhale, squeeze, and then relax. I want you to do 12 of these. Good. Remember, as if you have lemons under your armpits and you want to keep them there, that's how you want to squeeze your shoulder blades. I'm sorry, your elbows close to your body. If your elbows are out here, all the way out here and you're chicken winging, that means you need to pull them back in. Go ahead and do 12. It's too hard, grab another band that's lighter, or you can move the band to your upper thigh and just pull back. whichever works for you. Looks good. Very nice. Anyone have any questions about the seated rows? Everyone looks really good. Okay. Next one is going to be standing hip abduction if you're able to stand. So you're going to keep the bands around your ankles, but you want to put both feet in it at the same time. Stand up. You can absolutely have a chair next to you just for a little bit of extra stability. Adjust my camera for you. So fingertips on the chair, try not to white knuckle. And then you want your hand on your hip so it doesn't get in the way. And as you exhale, you want to pull that leg out as far as you can and then relax. We're going to do 10 on each side. Okay. So remember, exhale as you push your leg out and inhale as you relax. If you're doing it seated, remember you can bring the band to your lower thighs. Keep your feet together. And you want to open and close your knees like a clamshell. Okay. I'll do this in front so you can see. If you're doing it seated, feet together, knees are the only things that are moving, like a clamshell. And we're breathing. Very good. Looks good, everyone. And that glute action, a very, very overlooked muscle, but very necessary, especially for knee stability. Good. If you're done and waiting for others, that's okay. Grab some water or shake out those legs. Keep the band around your knees, around your thighs, I'm sorry. If you want to keep one leg in or both legs in is your choice. We're going to be doing the lateral raise with our arms. So whatever you thought was the most feasible for you, whether it's keeping both legs in the band or one leg in the band, I'll leave that up to you. I'm going to stand up. Move my chair. Okay. So again, you try to bring that band up, pull one arm in the band, if you have, stand up straight, and try to pull your arm away as far as you can. Again, you don't have to have both legs in the band. You can have one leg, one hand, or two legs, one hand, whatever works for you. So 10 on one side, and then switch hands, 10 on the other side. If you are doing this seated, or you need to do it seated, it's the same thing. You're just gonna sit down, put one hand in there in the band, and just try to pull your arm away from your leg. I'll even do it with one leg. Just like that. I'll do it from the front so you can see. So one leg, one hand, as far as you can go. Just like that. And if we need to switch, we switch. So 10 and 10 on each side. Just like that. Okay. Let's go ahead, finish your repetitions up. Grab some water, shake out your muscles if you feel like you need it. The next one, just so you can prepare for those who are ready, are going to be the split squats. So maybe get some water. If you needed the chair for the split squat, go ahead and position that if you need it. And then I will walk you through the steps one more time. It is complex, or maybe just for me. I don't know about you. Maybe it's easy for you. All right. So again, it's down a little bit. Okay, so I have the chair on the side. I'm going to have my left leg in the front. I'm gonna step my right leg back. And then I'm just gonna go down and up and down and up. If you feel like when you're going down, you're starting to lean forward, that means you're going too far down or might need to take a step further back. You want to just go straight up and down. Let's do 6 on each side. Okay, and then when you're ready, you just switch legs. You just go straight up and down. No need to hit the floor. There's no advantage. It's very hard to get back up. If you feel like your knees are sliding forward, that means your back leg needs to go further back because there's no room. So you might want to take a step back. For those of you who need to do it seated, you're just going to do kickbacks, either standing or seated. On the edge of the chair, you're going to kick your leg back and kick back. You want to squeeze this back muscle here when you kick back, for those who are doing it seated. And you'll do 10 kickbacks on each side. Let me move to the other side. Do the same thing. No rush to get them done. Get them done correctly. Very nice. Looks good. All right. Feeling it? You're gonna shake out your legs. Put them down, get some oxygen. All right. Last exercise, tricep extension. So grab your band, whichever one you want to use. Which hand do you want to start off with, right or left? I'm going to start working my right arm first. So my left goes on at the top, center of my chest, right goes on the bottom, and then I'm going to just pull down to the side. And exhale, then pull down. Go into 10 of those on one side. When you're ready, switch to 10 on the other side. So you can either do this seated or standing, whichever is accessible to you.